kalpate gopesha gopikakanta radhakanta namostute tapta kanchana gaurangi radhe vrindavaneshwari vrishabhanu sute devi pranamami hari priye vancha kalpatarubhasya कृपा सिंधु वच पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे.
Thank you, Manoram Prabhu. Continuing the chapter of the prayers, very intimate prayers and offering of Kunti Devi. So we have covered till verse number 38. So yesterday we discussed that how the appearance and the activities of the Lord, everything about the Lord is inconceivable. It is extremely bewildering, vidambanana. Twice Mata Kunti says that it is vidambanana, it is bewildering. It is very, very deceptive. People do not have any knowledge. Na ved kaschid bhagavam chikirshita. No one knows that what is the actual purpose of your appearance and your pastimes. And they have different opinions. What is the different opinion? Yesterday we discussed about the different opinion. Boliye. It should come out immediately. What are the different opinions people have? Nobody revised what we discussed yesterday. Yes, Pranav Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, people consider this Krishna is partial. Is
Yes.
though favored to.
Yes, very good. People consider that Krishna is partial. He specifically favors someone and specifically he has envy towards us. It is not so. Krishna is not partial. It is the inconceivable nature of Krishna. And what was the example given? Pradeep, what were the examples? We discussed in length this verse yesterday.
Sun rays.
Yes, the sun rays. The sun and the sun rays. Very good. And then she says that it seems that you take birth, although you are the super soul of the verse, Vishwatma. But you take birth and you perform very activities. And what is more bewildering? That you take birth among the animal species, Tiriyan, then Nara, Rishis, and Yadhashu. So it is extremely deceptive. It is extremely bewildering. No one knows what is your intention. And we discussed that Krishna is saying, even in Bhagavad Gita, no one knows me, but no one knows Krishna's intention. But at least Kunti Devi knows the intention. So she is appreciating, she is glorifying Krishna. And then she speaks about one personality for whom Krishna did very special favor. Now, what is that personality? That personality is Mother Yaśodā. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo. Name of Yaśodā is there? Huh? Name of Yaśodā is not there in the verse. Why? Because she was to glorify Yaśodā separately. Yaśodā cannot be classified with Devaki or Vasudev, not even with Nanda Maharaj. Why? Because the position of Mother Yaśodā in this parental love is the topmost and highest. No one is parallel to the position of Mother Yaśodā. So now she speaks that what is that bewilderment? It is further bewildering of the pastime that he performed with Mother Yaśodā. How he reciprocated with Mother Yaśodā. Let us see that. The verses. Gopya ādade tvayi kṛtāgasi dāma tāvad yate daśāśru-kalilāñjana-sambhramākṣam vaktraṁ ninīya bhaya-bhāvanayā sthitasya samam vimohayati bhīr bibheti samam vimohayati bhīr bibheti. So this is even more bewildering to me. So why? Yesterday we discussed this verse little, that amongst all the gopis, amongst all the residents of Vrindavan, that gopy who caught you while creating some mischief, creating some disturbance, kṛtāgasi. And what she did? She tried to tie you, dāma. She tried to bind you by the ropes. And when she tied you with the ropes, yatte daśā-śru-kalilā añjana. And when you were tied with the rope, you were as if that you have been caught guilty. You were being punished and you were lowering your head, and there were tears flowing from your eyes. So that scene Kunti Devi is able to perceive. She is able to enter into that Leela, and with the terrified eyes. So she is saying that it is very, very bewildering that you who are bhaya-bhāvanayā sthitasya, that you were afraid, although you are fear personified. Even the fear personified is afraid of you. So this chikirshitam, or this pastime, or this Leela, this side is even more bewildering. My dear Krishna, Yaśodā took up a rope to bind you when you committed an offense. Kṛtāgasi. Kṛtāgasi is you committed some mischief or an offense, and your perturbed eyes overflooded with tears. Aśru-kalila, overflooded with tears, which washed the masakara from your eyes. Añjana. Añjana is the masakara which Mother Yaśodā used to put on the eyes of Krishna. And you were afraid, though fear personified is afraid of you. So this is very bewildering. That first you were tied down, and when you were tied down, you were as if a criminal has been caught, and you were crying. You were crying unstoppable. and you are afraid, although the personified fear is afraid of you. So this is very, very bewildering to me. Here is another example of bewilderment created by the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is the supreme in all circumstances, as already explained. Here is a specific example of the Lord being the supreme and at the same time a plaything in the presence of his pure devotees. The Lord's pure devotees render service unto the Lord out of unalloyed love only. And while discharging such devotional service, the pure devotee forgets the position of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord also accepts the loving service of his devotees more relishably when the service is rendered spontaneously out of pure affection, without anything of reverential admiration. So there are many, many types of devotees, but this is spontaneous. So what is spontaneous and what is reverential? Bataiye. What is spontaneous and what is reverential? Prabhupada explains, mentions about both. Two types of bhakti, na? One is reverential and the other is spontaneous. What is the difference between the two? Yes, बोलिए जय
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Reverential is like based on the spiritual gyan, like daśā bhāv, Prabhuji, daśā bhāv, reverential, and the other one is like spontaneous is out of love, Prabhuji, out of love, like madhurya bhav or vasalya bhav.
Very good. Precise answer. Yeah. But it is called raganuga. It is called spontaneous means rag. This is ragan. So this is aishwarya yukta and that is, as he said, madhurya yukta. So that aishwarya gyan, that aishwarya does not please Krishna as much as the spontaneous affection pleases Krishna. And Yaśodā Devi is in the highest order of the parental vatsalya, spontaneous love that she exhibits. The Supreme Lord also accepts the loving service of his devotee more relishable when the service is rendered spontaneously out of pure affection, without anything of reverential admiration. Generally, the Lord is worshipped by the devotees in a reverential attitude, but the Lord is meticulously pleased when the devotee out of pure affection and love considers the Lord to be less important than himself. This is for very, very advanced devotees. Those who are completely absorbed and aligned with Krishna. The Lord pastimes in the original abode of Golok Vrindavan are exchanged in that spirit. The friends of Krishna consider him one of them. They do not consider him to be of reverential importance. The parents of the Lord, who are all pure devotees, consider him a child only. The Lord accepts the chastisement of his parent more cheerfully than the prayers of the Vedic hymns. Similarly, he accepts the reproaches of his fiancés more palatable than the Vedic hymns. When Lord Krishna was present in this material world to manifest his eternal pastimes of the transcendental realm of Golok Vrindavan as an attraction for the people in general, he displayed a unique picture of subordination before his foster mother Yaśodā. The Lord, in his naturally childish, playful activities, used to spoil the stock butter of Mother Yaśodā by breaking the pots and distributing the contents to his friends and playmates, including the celebrated monkeys of Vrindavan, who took the advantage of Lord's munificence. Mother Yaśodā saw this, and out of her pure love, she wanted to make a show of punishment for her transcendental child. She took a rope and threatened the Lord that she would tie him up, as is generally done by the ordinary household. Seeing the rope in the hands of Mother Yaśodā, the Lord bowed down his head and began to weep just like a child. And tears rolled down his cheeks, washing off the black ointment smeared about his beautiful eyes. This picture of the Lord is adored by Kunti Devi because she is conscious of the Lord's supreme provision. He is feared often by the fear personified. What is the verse? Anyone knows? He is feared often by the fear personified. And yet he is afraid of the mother who wanted to punish him just as an ordinary manner. Where it is mentioned that the personified fear is fearful of Krishna. Have you heard or not? Suna hai nahi suna hai? Huh? Suna hai to kahan suna hai? What is the Shastric reference? Yes, there shall go.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Exact Shastric references I do not remember, but it is written in the some sloka in Bhagavad Gita that out of fear, the sun and moon they perform their action out of fear.
Bhagavad Gita, then you should be knowing. If it is in Bhagavad Gita, then you should be knowing. Anyone else? It is talking about fear, not just sun and moon. See, I am reading again what Kunti Devi is. This is the bewilderment of Kunti Devi, that the Lord is feared often by the fear personified. Yet he is afraid of his mother, who wanted to punish him just in an ordinary manner. He is feared by the fear personified. What is the fear personified? Who is fear personified? ये तो बोलिए. Why you are all, tight-lipped, don't want to speak? Ganesh, what is fear personified? पता ही नहीं है fear personified कौन है?
नहीं प्रभु जी, मुझे पता नहीं
हाँ?
है. नहीं प्रभु जी, मुझे पता नहीं चल रहा है.
बड़ा मुश्किल है. मेरा सवाल प्रश्न आता है कि पता क्या है? हर चीज में आप बोल देते हैं पता नहीं है. यस प्रणव प्रभु, कैसे
Krishna
पता?
Prabhuji.
हाँ?
Yamraj.
Yamraj, the superintendent of death. So there is a beautiful verse in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. It is 3.25.42. So, see, not only the fear personified is feared by Krishna, everyone else, he gives that in this verse, that everything is moving because of his fear. What Daśā said is also right. Even the sun and the moon is moving because of his fear. 3.25.42 क्या हुआ मानिनी माता जी, वीडियो क्यों बंद कर दिया? कुंती देवी की प्रार्थना सुनने के लिए टाइम नहीं है? सुन
हरे
नहीं रहे
कृष्ण
आप
प्रभु
लोग?
जी, दंडवत
धन्यवाद।
दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी, सुन
कल
रही हूँ
संडे
प्रभु
था
जी।
तब भी नहीं, कल संडे था तब भी नहीं सुना?
नहीं प्रभु जी, मंदिर गई थी, कल इवनिंग प्रोग्राम था।
Yes, a little bigger font so that we can see. Okay. मद्भयात् वातियातो मद्भयात् वातियातोऽयं सूर्यस्तपति मद्भयात् वर्षात् इन्द्रो दहति अग्निः मृत्युश्चरन्ति मद्भयात्. Show the translation. It is because of my supremacy that the wind blows. Out of fear of me, the sun shines, and out of fear of me, and the Lord of the clouds, Indra, send forth shower out of fear of me. Fire burns out of fear of me. And death goes about taking its toll out of fear of me. So, Mrityu Dev, he moves, taking its toll out of fear of Krishna. And here, that personality who's feared by everyone else has become fearful. You can close it. So she is even more bewildered. She is very, very bewildered. How this is possible? Why? Because she has that reverential touch. That touch is not there with Yaśodā. Yaśodā does not care that Mrityu Dev is fearful of Krishna or not. She ensures that Krishna is fearful of her. She is not bothered about who is fearful of Krishna. Kunti was conscious of the exalted position of Krishna, whereas Yaśodā was not. Prabhupada is highlighting this fact. Therefore, Yaśoda's position is more exalted than Kunti. Mother Yaśodā got the Lord as her child, and the Lord made her forget altogether that her child was the Lord himself. If Mother Yaśodā had been conscious of the exalted position of the Lord, she would certainly have hesitated to punish the Lord. But she was made to forget the situation because the Lord wanted to make a complete gesture of childishness before the affectionate Yaśodā. This exchange of love between the mother and the son was performed in a natural way. And Kunti Devi, remembering the scene, was bewildered. And she could do nothing but praise the transcendental maternal and filial love. Maternal is mother, filial love. Indirectly, Mother Yaśodā is praised for a unique position of love, and she could control even the all-powerful Lord as her beloved child. Then she says that what are the opinions or what are the reasons for your appearance? Why the unborn appears in this world? So she gives her opinion. Kechudahur ajam jatum punya shloka sakitaye yadu priyasya anvavaye malayasya eva chandanam. So Kechidahu, that someone say that ajam jatum, that the unborn has taken birth. What is the purpose that the unborn has taken birth? Punya shlokasya kirtaye. To glorify. Kirtaye means to glorify. Who? Punya shlokasya. Punya shlokas means Krishna, one of the name of Krishna is Punya shloka. He is glorified in the very choicest words or poetries. And Punya shloka is also used for very, very pure devotees who are very intimate associates of the Lord. Many times in the Bhagavatam, Krishna is described as Punya Shloka. But Krishna has appeared to glorify Punya Shloka Kirte. And who are these Punya Shloka? Who are these fortunate souls for whom Krishna, who is Ajam Jata, he has appeared? So she mentions that the great pious kings, Yadu, the lineage of King Yadu, who is very dearmost. Some say that the unborn has taken birth for the glorification of the great pious kings. And others say that you took birth to please King Yadu, one of your dearest devotees. You appeared in his family as sandalwood appears in the Malai. So she gives this analogy also. Yadu priyasya anbhavaye malaya asya iva chandana. So you have appeared in the Yadu Kula as if the sandalwood appears in the Malay hill. What it means? It means to glorify. The Malay hills is glorified because it has sandalwood. Similarly, you have appeared. He gives two reasons. Here she is giving two reasons. First reason is that Punya Shloka Kirte, for the glorification of the great pious kings. It will become evident in the Prabhupada's purport. So who are these Punya Shloka? Who are these kings? Because the Lord appearance in this material world is bewildering, there are different opinions about the birth of the unborn. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that he takes his birth in the material world, although he is the Lord of all creation and he is unborn. What verse is this? If you see this Bhagavad Gita quote is there, that he takes his birth in the material world, although he is the Lord of all creation and he is unborn. बोलो भाई, कौन सा श्लोक है भगवद गीता का जो प्रभुपाद जी कोट कर रहे हैं? Which verse is this from Bhagavad Gita? डेली मुंह छुपाना पड़ता है कि भगवद गीता आता नहीं है। डेली यही होता है। प्रभुपाद जी हर श्लोक के हर तात्पर्य में भगवद गीता कोट कर, तो ये भगवद गीता आना कितना जरूरी है। कोई भी प्रभुपाद जी का तात्पर्य बिना भगवद गीता के है दिखता है क्या? कैन यू सी एनी परपोर्ट व्हिच इज विदाउट भगवद गीता? और हमको लगता है हमको भगवद गीता आ गया, हमने सीख लिया भगवद गीता। आप तो प्रभु जी भागवतम पढ़ाइए, चेतन चरितमृत पढ़ाए, क्या आप इतने सालों से भगवद गीता कैसे रहे? अभी कुछ नहीं, अब हमको कुछ नहीं पता भगवद गीता। बताइए भाई। Where the unborn is born, although he remains the master of all. कौन सा वर्ष? मेरे बहुत सरल है भाई, शुरू में ये बोलिए रम्या या दयाशील प्रभु बोले।
It is in chapter number 5. Ajo api san abhyaya atma.
Yes, the verse is right. Ajo api san avyaya atma bhutanam ishvaro api san. Although he takes birth, he is amongst all the living entities. Bhutanam, he is Ishvara. He is not amongst one of us. So he cannot be considered human because he remains, his position does not change. That is not in the 6th chapter, that is in the 4th chapter. In the 4th chapter, it is the, I think it is the 4th or 5th verse. 6th verse वाली अजो son of atma is the 6th verse. And Prakriti Swam Adhishtaya. He appears in his transcendental form. So he takes his birth in the material world, although he is the Lord of all creation and he is unborn. So there cannot be any denial of the birth of the unborn because he himself establishes the truth. But still there are different opinions as to why he takes his birth. That is also declared in the Bhagavad Gita. What are the different opinions? Why he takes his birth, which is declared in the Bhagavad Gita. Again, see, without Bhagavad Gita, there cannot be any explanation. अरे ये तो बोल दो भाई, इसमें क्या है? No, wait. Not two of you. बाकी लोग क्या दिमाग काम नहीं कर रहा है क्या? मानिनी माता जी बोलो.
प्रभु जी जदा जदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अद्भुतानां धर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्
आगे
परित्राणाय साधूनां
परित्राणाय
विनाशाय च दुष्कृताम्.
Krishna comes for परित्राणाय साधूनां. This is most important. धर्म की स्थापना करने के लिए कृष्ण को आने की जरूरत नहीं है. और विनाशाय च दुष्कृताम के लिए भी जरूरत नहीं है. But परित्राणाय साधूनां. That is also declared in the Bhagavad Gita. He appears by his own internal potency to re-establish the principles of religion and to protect the pious and to annihilate the impious. That is the mission of the appearance of the unborn. Still it is said that the Lord is there to glorify the pious King Yudhishthira. This was the purpose. Punya Shloka Kirtana. What are that Punya Shloka? King Yudhishthira. Lord Shri Krishna certainly wanted to establish the kingdom of the Pandavas for the good of all in the world. When there is a pious king ruling over the world, the people are happy. When the ruler is impious, the people are unhappy. In the age of Kali, in most cases, the rulers are impious, and therefore the citizens are also continuously unhappy. But in the case of democracy, the impious citizens themselves elect their representative to rule over them, and therefore they cannot blame anyone for their unhappiness. Maharaj Nala was also celebrated as a great pious king, Punya Shloka, but he had no connection with Lord Krishna. Therefore here, Punya Shloka means Maharaj Yudhishthira, who was glorified by Lord Krishna. Krishna had also glorified King Yadu, having taken birth in the family of that king. Thus Krishna is known as Yadava, Yaduvira, Yadunandana, etc. Although the Lord is always independent of such obligation, he is just like the sandalwood that grows in the Malaya hills. Trees can grow anywhere and everywhere. Yet because the sandalwood trees grows mostly in the area of the Malaya hill, the name sandalwood and the Malaya hill are interrelated. Therefore, the conclusion is that the Lord is ever unborn like the sun, and yet he appears in this material world in the same way that the sun rises on the eastern horizon. As the sun is never the sun of the eastern horizon, Prabhupada gives such an excellent analogy. As the sun is never the sun of the eastern horizon, because he is appearing from there. So the Lord is no one's son, but is the father of everything that be. So he gave two reasons. Kunti Devi is giving principally two reasons. That he came to glorify whom? Maharaj Yudhishthira, Punya Shloka Kirtana, and to glorify Maharaj Yadu, in whose lineage, in whose family it took birth. Okay. Then further she says, I'll take one more verse at least. Apare vasudevasya devakayam yachito abhayagata ajasvam astashamaya vadhaya cha suradvesham. So other reason, apare, apart from the two reasons that she has cited, that Lord appeared to answer the prayers of Vasudeva and Devaki. Vasudevasya Devakiyam Yachita. Yachita is, they were prayers. Devaki and Vasudeva, they had prayed to the Lord to appear. So he took birth, Abhyagata. Then Ajastvam Astashemaya. You took, others say that both Vasudeva and Devaki prayed for you. You have taken birth as their son. Undoubtedly, you are unborn. Yet you took your birth for their welfare and to kill who are envious of the demigod. Then she gives another reason, that you appear for the welfare, and vadhaya. Vadhaya means to kill. Vad. Sura Visham. Sura means the demigod, and Visham means those who are envious. So she is giving multiple reasons that to answer the prayers of Vasudeva and Devaki, then for the welfare of the world, and to kill the asuras who are envious of the demigods. So she is citing three more reasons. It is also said that Vasudeva and Devaki in their previous birth as Sutapa and Prishni underwent a severe type of penance to get the Lord as their son. And as a result of such austerity, the Lord appeared as their son. It is already declared in the Bhagavad Gita that the Lord appears for the welfare of the people of the world and to vanquish the asuras or the materialistic atheists. Paritrāṇāya sadhunam and vināṣāya cha dushkritam. There is one more reason. Let me cover this also. Verse number 34. One, just still not 9 in my verse. Bhāra-avataranya anne bhava-avataranya anne bhuvanavo iva udhādau Siddhantya puri bharena jato hi atma bhuva artitha. So bhara avataranya, bhava avataranya, bhar means the burden, to reduce the burden of the world. This is another reason, anne, that you appeared simply to reduce the burden of the earth. Because Mother Earth also prayed that she is not able to carry out the burden because of so many impious kings. Others say that the world being overburdened like the boat at sea, which is a bhuvo nava. Nava means the boat. And udadaho means on the sea. Like the world was overburdened, like the boat at the sea was much aggrieved. So he appeared to release that burden of the earth. Then jato hi atma bhuva. Atma bhuva is Brahmaji. Is Arthita prayed for. The Brahmaji also prayed. Brahmaji prayed for the behalf of all the demigods. So in response to Brahmaji's prayer, he has appeared. Previously it was said that he appeared to reciprocate with the prayers of Sutapa and Prishni. In the previous birth, they prayed and they have appeared as Devaki and Vasudev. So he reciprocated with their prayers. And now Kunti Devi is saying that to release the burden of the earth and to answer the prayers of Brahmaji, you have appeared. Brahma, or the first living being, was born just after the creation. He is the direct son of Narayan. Narayan, as Garbhodakshai Vishnu, first of all entered the material universe. Without spiritual contact, matter cannot create. This principle was followed from the very beginning of the creation. The Supreme Spirit entered the universe, and the first living being Brahma was born on the lotus flower grown from the transcendental abdomen of Vishnu. Vishnu is therefore known as Padmanabha. Brahma is known as Atmabhu because he was begotten directly from the father without any contact of Mother Lakshmi. Lakshmiji was present near Narayan, engaged in the service of the Lord, and still without contact with Lakshmiji, Narayan begot Brahma. This is the omnipotency of the Lord. One who foolishly considers Narayan like other living being should take a lesson from this. Narayan is not an ordinary living being. He is the personality of Godhead himself, and he has all the potencies of all the senses in all parts of his transcendental body. An ordinary living being begets the child by sexual intercourse, and he has no means of begetting a child other than the one designed for him. But Narayan, being omnipotent, is not bound to any condition of energy. He is complete and independent to do anything and everything by his various potencies, very easily and perfectly. Brahma is therefore directly the son of the father and was not put into the womb of a mother. Therefore, he is known as Atmabhu. He is also known as Atmaja. What is another name of Brahmaji? He is also known as Padmaja. Ja means to take birth. Atmaja means he is taken directly birth from Lord Narayan. He is Padmaja. Why? Because he is taken birth from the lotus which has grown from Narayan. So he is also known as Padmaja. But Prabhupada is saying he is also known as here as Atmabhu. He has appeared directly from Lord Narayan, not begotten by the womb of the mother. This Brahma is in charge of further creations of the universe, secondarily reflected by the potency of the omnipotent. Within the hollow of the universe, there is a transcendental planet known as Shvetati, which is the abode of Shirodakshai Vishnu. The Paramatma feature of the Supreme Lord, whenever there is trouble in the universe that cannot be solved by the administrative demigods, they approach Brahmaji for a solution. That is what we see before Krishna appears. All the demigods, they assemble and they go and approach Brahmaji. And where do Brahmaji go? Where does Brahmaji go? Whom does Brahmaji approaches? Whom does Brahmaji approach? Yes, Ramya. इस पे क्या सोच रहे हैं?
प्रभु क्षीरोदकशायी विष्णु.
Yes. Which Vishnu?
क्षीरोदकशायी विष्णु.
Very good. Very perfect answer. Why Yaśodā Vishnu? Not Garbhodakshai Vishnu, from where he is coming. Why he is not approaching Garbhodakshai Vishnu? Or why he is not approaching Mahavishnu?
प्रभु क्षीरोदकशायी विष्णु से बाकी सारे अवतार आते हैं.
Very good. Very good. And he is the super soul of the universe. He expands into the heart of everyone as Paramatma. And from him comes the incarnation. So any incarnation has to come, it has to come from Shirodakshai Vishnu. Krishna does not have to come from Shirodakshai Vishnu. He is the source. But others, they come from Shirodakshai Vishnu. See, it is mentioned here. This Brahma is in charge of further creations in the universe, secondarily reflected by the potency of the omnipotent. Within the halo of the universe, there is a transcendental planet known as Shvetadip, which is the abode of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the Paramatma feature of the Supreme Lord. Whenever there is trouble in the universe that cannot be solved by the administrative demigods, they approach Brahmaji for a solution. And if it is not solved even by Brahmaji, then Brahmaji consult and prays to the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Vishnu for an incarnation and solution to the problem. Such a problem arose when Kamsa and others were ruling the earth, and the earth became too much overburdened by the misdeeds of the Asuras. Brahmaji, along with other demigods, prayed at the shore of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and they were advised of the descent of Krishna as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva and Devaki. So some people say that the Lord appeared because of the prayers of Brahmaji. So this is the section that we have cleared, that various opinions about the birth of one who is unborn. But what is the final opinion? What is Kunti Devi's opinion? That you will come to know today. Krishna willing. From tomorrow I have to teach the Bhakti Shastri course. Today the classes were not there because Maharaj gave a class in the evening, so the devotees were attending that. So please try and put your heart. Now there is the test, because initially most of the verses were known to us. First 5-7 verses कुछ नहीं करना था, वो खाली 1-2 बार पढ़ना था क्योंकि वो वर्ष सबको आते थे. लेकिन अभी थोड़ा प्रयास करना पड़ेगा, अभी थोड़ा लिख के मेहनत करना पड़ेगा, तभी ये वर्ष पकड़ में आएंगे. ठीक है, और करते जाओ नहीं तो छूट जाएगा. अभी कर लोगे तो हो जाएगा, बाद में नहीं होगा. पता चलते जब तक हम सोचेंगे जन्माष्टमी आ जाएगा. आज कितनी तारीख हो गया? 5 तारीख तो हो गया, और 26 को जन्माष्टमी है. Okay, any discussion or any question? पूछिए. Everything is clear? Convinced? Okay, then we will stop here. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Kunti Devi ki jai.